Welcome to Trybe Talks, the podcast for parents who are trying to do it all and stay sane in the process. I'm Princess Nyah, your host and founder of Trybe, your personal parenting assistant. Each week we dive into real conversations, parent hacks and stories that remind you ain't doing this shit alone. Now let's get into it. Hey, it's your girl, Nyah, aka Princess Nyah, aka Kizzy's mum, and we're back with another episode of Trybe Talks. And today, I am joined by the amazing, actually, before I even get into that, this is someone I've been trying to interview for the longest via LinkedIn. Shouts out to all my business people on LinkedIn. We are joined by the fabulous Shanice. Yeah. But there was a studio audience, since all the noise time. And Bez. Shanice, would you like to tell the people who you are, or more importantly, what it is you actually do?
Okay. So, hi, everybody. I am Shanice Hoo Mills, and I am the founder and CEO of Kallure. And we are a boutique PR communications agency that specializes across lifestyle and tech. In terms of who I am a mum, I am a leader. I am a woman just navigating this world and trying to make sense of it all just like everybody else and all the other mama entrepreneurs.
I love that. I feel like that's the first time, and I've been doing a lot to it. That's the first time someone has really given themselves the kudos that they actually deserve. You know, I feel like we live in England, and England is like pushes you to be very humble.
Play small.
Yeah, you know, like, well, be humble. No. Don't be humble. Sometimes show up in your ego and everybody know who you are and exactly what type of person you are, so they know what they're going to get. Do you know what I mean? And also they're going to know what they're going to miss out on, you know? So, well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Really excited to talk to you. PR and stuff is not my world whatsoever. So for people that are listening that don't really understand what PR is, explain what it is you actually, like, what do you do for companies while you're running, like, as a PR person?
Okay. So PR in a nutshell is, I like to say this to people that don't understand or don't know what PR is. Everybody has PR, whether it's, Intel, whether it's a tech company, whether it's a small beauty brand, whether it's an independent. What PR is ultimately we get others to speak about you. We amplify your brand. We put you in places like media, make sure that, you know, people are speaking about what you do and people understand who you are as an individual or a business or a brand, depends on how you want to position yourself. So ultimately that is what PR is. It's about making sure, amplifying who you are to external audiences and making other people speak about you positively.
Amazing. Sounds like we all, especially as a small business owner, it sounds like we could all really do some PR. At what stage do you think, we're in a day and age, right, where you can agree or disagree, but where everyone and their brother, aunt, uncle has got a business, and the business looks like this: Instagram, DM me for bookings, and that's pretty much it. There's no website, there's no company house registration, there's no premises. It's all very ad hoc. And the thing is that I've got nothing against that. However, what makes it be that you're ready for PR, you know?
Yeah, and that's a good question, because I feel that a lot of people get PR when it's, premature, and they actually don't need PR yet. So, it's too early. I think with when you get PR, it's when you're already established, when you've got, because ultimately, especially if you're pitching yourself to media, they want to understand the story. Then is it news story worthy? So a lot of businesses will prematurely do that without actually scoping the market and really finding their audience.
Okay.
So it's really important as a business to find your audience, find your market, and build the community first. Build the foundation. And once you have that foundation, then you can amplify that. Once you've got a few things that you can really speak about, how can you make that resonate? Then you can amplify that story more. You know, it's very different than doing a film premiere, for example, to say when you've got a small business and you're selling products, because so many people, like you said, are selling products. So it's, okay, why would, I don't know, I'm just going to throw it out there, but Daily Mail, for example, why are Daily Mail going to pick up your product?
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean? Because there's hundreds of products. So it's about really just understanding your market, your target. And sometimes it might not necessarily be, okay, you need big press, whether it's regional, national, because it all varies. Maybe it's just you building your actual community around you. How do you service your community? How do you build those relationships? Because PR is beyond just media. Yeah. It's about building your stakeholder relationships. So obviously, if you're a huge conglomerate, it's about keeping the investors happy, the board happy, all the different kind of areas. Yeah.
When you're speaking out, like, whoa.
But a small independent business is very different because usually it's them, they're the main stakeholder. So it's about making sure that they are building their image publicly in the right way.
So no, it definitely does make sense. And at what stage do you need to really say, okay, cool, I need to figure out my PR strategy, or just like take a minute to say, okay, cool, who am I and what am I doing? Because most often than not, you know, it's like you're an entrepreneur. Like an entrepreneurs genuinely have 5,000 business ideas. It's generally, it's not really just.
We're always thinking about something new. For me, I'm thinking, how am I pivoting for law? I'm just like, yeah.
And it's like you're thinking. And by the time you have started and you've got stuck in, I don't feel like there's time to really, you know, plan out this PR stuff before you started. We kind of just get stuck.
It's accidentally. A lot of it's accidental.
It is.
Because if it's organic and people just love you, naturally people are going to talk about you, right? Yeah. People are going to gravitate towards you. So I feel like, I think personally in this journey that I've been on, I don't know if there's ever a right time entirely, because there is when is there a right time? Do you get what I mean? So I just feel like it's about what do you want as a business and what's your goal? Is it scalability? Is it more, all right, you want more users? Again, it depends on what you're doing as a business. Like if you've got an app, is it that you want to drive people to be downloading the app? So if that is the case, what do you need to be looking at? Is that B2C? And then again, if it's that you're servicing a bigger company, is that B2B? It's about really just understanding who you're talking to. And then I think from there,
what you want
as a business, what's your objectives? And then how do you achieve those goals? And through doing that, there's certain things that you have to implement in order to achieve those goals. And so PR, marketing, I always say PR and marketing are cousins, but they're two different things. But people often think they're the same, but it's not. But I think what has happened due to social media and the digital world, because when I first started in PR, social media wasn't a thing. It was on the cusp. It was kind of just new. It was all about calling journalists, selling things in, X, Y, Z. Now it's completely changed where social media is driving the narrative and it's for the journalists to make that story credible now. Do you get what I mean? So the dynamics have completely shifted.
Is that because the person now, because we're in this day and age of the influencer?
Yeah.
And it's like now the influencer is basically doing the PR for themselves.
Exactly.
In a way.
A lot of businesses now, this is why if you see some of the bigger, massive PR companies, they have created whole entire divisions that are looking after talent, that are focused on social media, digital and all of that, because they know as a business, the traditional PR isn't necessarily what people want anymore. So they're trying to diversify and pivot. And that's something that I'm even learning, like with my business. So like in the next few months, it's not public information yet, but we're looking to pivot and I'm completely transforming the business and we won't be a full service agency anymore. And that's just because as a business, it's just not profitable and it's not making sense for us as a business.
But you have to move.
Exactly.
I feel like what happens in a lot of businesses, and this is why they don't succeed, is because as a founder and as someone who's got this business idea, you're fixated on the starting point.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that like after 3 years, shit don't change.
Yeah,
like, things different.
Holding on.
In another 5 years, it's changed again. And it's like going back to that initial idea and understanding the idea is what got me here. Like you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Got more ideas. And that is absolutely going to...
And it evolves.
It's funny you talk about the influencers because this... Just when you came in and I came outside now.
Yeah,
the WhatsApp group's kicking off because, you know, my daughter's teacher is leaving the school and then someone put in the WhatsApp group, she's leaving to do social media. And I'm like, huh? But you're a teacher.
Yeah.
Like social media is anyone's game.
Yeah.
And with it being anyone's game, it's really taken, as you said, it's taken the old school format and it's making it into something brand new.
Definitely.
And if you look at it, it's like that with everything.
Yeah.
Like look at the music.
Yeah. Even music, I remember. Do you remember when there was a time you used to actually like have to buy records? Because I even remember my first CDs that I bought, my first single, my first album. I actually remember going HMV to buy that.
Okay, because I remember I had I think I still got my Little Kim. Yeah, I had a Little Kim CD, the explicit version, and my mum was like, "What in the what?"
Yeah,
I think I got one of my singles was I think it was a Salt and Pepper.
My single was Destiny's Child, Independent Woman. Girl, and my first two albums was Kano, Keys and Keys, and Ashanti.
Shut up.
I swear.
Are you watching the Ashanti show, by the way?
No, you know what? I need to tune in. No, I haven't.
I'm a reality fan.
Yeah, I'm not really. So I'll check it out because I actually like Ashanti. Yeah.
Have a go.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. But yeah, times have just changed. And I think that there are the people that complain and say, yeah, it's changed, and I'm just kind of stop. And then there are people like yourselves that say, okay, cool, that worked for a while, but now we're going to kind of
pivot in a different direction. You can't, look, I always say, like, things never last forever. Everything never lasts forever. And when you look at, even when you look at some of the big companies that last for 200 years, some of them, they didn't start out in what they did. Like when you look at Kodak completely, there was a period, if I remember correctly, they went bust because they didn't want to kind of go with the times. And then they realized we need to get with the digital, and when you look at blockbusters now, we see the new Netflix. So everything just evolves and changes. So it's about evolving, but I think still being authentic to who you are. Don't completely let go of the foundations.
Yeah, I'm going to do it OnlyFans now.
Yeah, you know what I mean? To go up fine. Like I'm manicures, like get some tools. We're not going to do laughters or,
Oh, no, it's true. And I feel like, as a mum, like, how do you navigate the stresses of change in front of your daughter? How old's your daughter?
She is 7 going on 17.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
One of those.
Yeah, that's
8, and it is.
Yeah. She's sassy, man.
People told me the other day, I must have went into the shower and I went to move the shower curtain. She goes, I don't have my privacy. I said,
yeah. It's when she's shutting the door. My daughter now, she's at this stage now, she keeps shutting the bathroom door, but it's only me and her because it's just me and her. Yeah. And I'm like, we're shutting the door for? Because I want privacy. And I'm like, what privacy? I pay the bills. There's no privacy here. Keep the door open.
And I'm saying, I must have done the shower curtain. And she said, no, I need my privacy. I said,
what? God, you ain't got no privacy till you're 18 and everything.
You have to scrub down today. Saying this, I need to scrub your toes.
Yeah, make sure, because, wash your mind, your hair properly. Yeah.
And she says, no, get all tense. So, yeah, we're in the similar trend.
Yeah.
And how do you find that? Because having a daughter's amazing.
But it's like a mini... You know what? Sometimes I sit down and I'll just laugh at myself. Like, I'll laugh because her expressions, how she behaves, it's me. And I'm just like, wow, your dad's not going to like this, is he?
It's like a karma. It's like
100%. No, but honestly, do you know what? In terms of juggling, it's been difficult, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend it hasn't been, because I've got an actual mental health condition. So there's times, this fly's trying to attack us.
Feature, but I'm going to put his name in the featurization.
And I know I smell good, so you need to move some around here. Thank you. It has been difficult at times, but what gives me the tenacity to keep going is just her little face. Like, how much she looks up to me, the things she would say, "Mummy, I'm so proud of you." And I was like, what do you know about proud? But she would just it's just amazing how intuitive children are. Like, I could be having a really difficult day, and like I said, Q1 this year has been really hard as a business. And I sat down and I remember I was just sitting in the living room and I was feeling really flustered, really deflated. And she just came and started rubbing my head and was like, "Mummy, everything's going to be okay." And I haven't had any conversation in front of her, nothing, but it's like she just knew in that moment Mummy needed a hug. So I think for me, number one, how I navigate it is through my faith. So I'm a Christian, and God is at the forefront of every decision that I make, because I feel that having a mental health, I've got borderline personality disorder, depression, anxiety, and I was diagnosed with PTSD. So it was a lot to kind of navigate. And I always say my daughter saved my life. She gave me a newfound purpose, which I didn't have. I've always been ambitious. I've always been a go-getter. But having her was do you know what? I'm not just living for me anymore. I'm living for her. So even though there's times where I'm dealing with some severe complexities, especially with my mind, I'm I have to just push through and I pray.
Yeah, and you're switched on. And I feel like it's sometimes you hear there's the type of mum that says, no, I live for my kids. And I'm a bit, I don't know, I'm on the fence with that, because I don't you have to live for yourself. You're your own soul first. However, there is a certain thing that happens to you when you become a mom, especially when you have a daughter that looks like you, sounds like you, and is basically the better version of you. Yeah, maddest way, because you're giving her
everything you didn't have,
everything you didn't have, and everything that you probably needed, and then you're setting her up for this massive chance. And you're not creating a life for her. You're just giving her the opportunity.
Right steps.
Exactly. And I feel like that switches something on in a woman that is undeniably...
It's indescribable.
It is indescribable. Yeah. And I love the fact that you said that, you put God first and you pray. There's a massive... I look at the way that the world is, and we're just polluted with noise.
Oh, everywhere. My gosh.
All the socials, you got wherever.
Too much talking. I'm telling you, too much.
Even us on a podcast, talking. It's everywhere you look.
But there's sense, there's substance.
But there's still no silence.
Yeah.
And I think that when you're praying, it gives you that chance to really be silent.
Absolutely.
And it leaves you a chance to really understand that everything you need is actually inside of you. And it's not outside. It's not in the phone. It's not on the laptop. It's not on the cue cards. It's not anywhere else, but that is actually inside of you. And I feel like as a mum, we are probably the one set of people on the planet that have the least amount of silence. Because I know for a fact, you could be in that toilet. Your daughter could be watching her show, but you walk into that toilet and, Mom, like someone's coming.
I'll be in the bath and she's trying to push her hands in the bath. I'm just like, girlfriend, come on, get out now.
I've got some little speedboat thing, and it's like, I'm sure, Mum, why do you play? I
don't want to go no boats in my. She's done that before. She's come with the Barbies and these things coming and putting this here. I don't want this in here. Can you remove? Said hello. So I've actually got a sign now. I've got that, that hangs on the hook of the door, and it says Mummy needs rest time.
Wow, that's
like I've actually, and it reverses to the other side, which says like I've had a really long day. Like it's got 2 different messages. So I put it on there because then when I see it on the hanger, I'll be like, I always say, Mummy's going in the adult corner now. And then she'll be like, okay, Mum, you're going to have some adult time. I said, yeah. So she won't come and like be intrusive. She'll knock my door before she comes in because I just need, because sometimes I'll just be sitting there doing nothing. I'll literally just be sitting there just looking at the wall because I just want
to zen out.
Yeah, I just don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to talk. I don't want to look at nothing. I don't want to watch nothing. I just want to sit there.
Yeah, it's the state moment.
Yeah.
I hear you. I call it the headboard.
Yeah, when you just look at the wall. And
like I'm on my thing. I'll be in my bedroom and I'll be like, right, I've had enough. Like I need a moment. And I'll go upstairs and I'll get washed and dressed. It could be like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever the time is. And I'll get into my bed and I will just lay there. And like one of my friends might call me and I'll be like, what are you doing? And then I'll just show them the headboard and they'll be like, oh, cool, I'll shout you later. Because they know that is
my moment to just wind down,
And I feel like it's the brain. The brain is overstimulated. It's working so much. And you're trying to think of the next 5 years, the next 10 years, the next 20 years. You're thinking of
what you're cooking. Just even how just the house chores. Because like, even now, it's just like, okay, I'm processing. Okay, I've got this, I've got that. I've got to go sort that out. Luckily, I cooked enough dinner from yesterday. So there's dinner today. Yeah, because I try to do that because I'm just like, time, I need to be practical with my time. Mm-hmm. And as well, one thing, what Kallure kept saying to me, that's my daughter, she kept saying, I work too much. And she started to get really upset about it. So I try that in the evenings. I try not to do no work or anything. I give her that time. Even if I'm sitting in the living room, I might not necessarily be playing with her per se, but she just wants me there, just watching her, what she's doing so she can show me and whatnot. So I'm being much more conscious of that because I feel like, especially in the first 4 years of her life, I was like, okay, I've got to go. And because it was just me, I'm the sole provider for my daughter. It was really, really difficult. I separated with her dad and it was just like, okay, I have to make this work and I have to give her everything I didn't have. So yeah, that's where all my drive comes from. But I feel like as well, especially as mum entrepreneurs, we carry a lot of guilt.
Yeah.
We carry a lot of guilt.
Pretend like you don't have it, but listen.
No, you do.
My daughter was sick. She come in and she's like, I can see her face, proper upset. I'm like, what's wrong? Like, anyway, finally got it out of her and she's like, she's got a bad belly. I won't go into the details of what happens in that bathroom because she'll be very embarrassed. But anyway, she couldn't go to school. And it's like, man, I got 3 podcast interviews today. I got 2 Zoom calls. I've got actual work that I need to do like on my laptop. But my daughter's sick. So then it's like, okay, thank God her dad's off work today. So it's like, oh no, he can do it. He can look after her. But there's still that thing of,
because they want your mummy. There's a thing, when they're sick, they want their mummy.
Also, as an adult, I know that if I'm really ill, there's a certain, you just want your mum. And then I thought to myself, like, there's a national statistics on, I think it's the Bright Horizons Index that says that 88 or 89% of mums basically take time off of work to look after their children when they're sick. And 22% of dads take the time off. And then I thought to myself, but is that because we don't make the dads take the time off? Or is that because your child just wants you? Or is that because, like, if my daughter's really ill, like, she's just probably got a little bit of a diarrhea going, she's all right. Yeah, she's got an iPad. She'll be fine. Yeah. However, if she was really sick, I wouldn't want to be here. Yeah. I would want to be here, but I would not.
You can like determine where the sacrifice, where you need to make that sacrifice.
Mom always makes a sacrifice. So my question is that because it is definitely like, it is just the mother nature thing that is ordained by your soul that we should be looking after them regardless. Because if you're married, you're taking the time of work. It's like an unwritten conversation.
You know what it is? I just feel like it comes back to, Adam and Eve, and you go back to the beginning of time of what the woman's whole embodiment was, us to reproduce and procreate. And I think that there's just a natural essence in us. I feel like some people might not have it because
it's true.
But you know, I feel that's life experiences and generational things that have been passed down through families. And, you know, kids, you know, do as they see. So they will copy and follow through with that. And I was raised by my grandmother, and she was very, very maternal.
Okay.
Like, this is a woman who would cook, make sure everyone's okay. She'll be, she loved little girls, so she'd be on her sewing machine, her spring her sewing machine and start making little dresses. That was her. She was a mother.
Yeah.
She was like the head honcho of the family, brought everyone together. And I think just naturally, just being around that, apparently I get told all the time by my cousins and stuff, you're like grandma, because it's like, I love all the kids coming around. I'll have all the kids on the 6 weeks holidays, and I'm that type of auntie. Like, I'll have all my nieces and nephews and always make that effort, because I feel like kids are so important, and it's important to cultivate that youthfulness of them, that innocence of them, and to help them. Because I always say this, broken children make mashed up adults, and then they grow up and start contaminating the world, and we can see it, you know what I mean, left and right. And the reality is because they weren't planted the right seeds. So I think for me, I feel like it's a combination. But yeah, going back to your point about just us having that natural instinct, I just genuinely believe that we as women, we just have that natural aura about us. And even if you haven't got kids, women just naturally have that they're nurturers, like they're comforters. That's what they are.
Excuse me. Hi, everyone.
Kizzy, we're recording.
So, hi, podcast people. I just had to tell you, I have a free course for kids like me. It's called Money Jazz. And it's so cool because it teaches us how to save, spend, and even invest. I'm basically a mini millionaire in training right now.
Kizzy?
Parents, you can get it for free. Yep, free. Just click the link in the description. Thank you so much for listening to my very important announcement. Okay, Mum, you can finally have your podcast back now.
Thanks, Kizzy. Right, where were we?
True. And it's, you're right. And I feel like we've come to, like, I'm definitely like a girl boss. Well, I say woman boss now, you know, when we get older. But, you know, like, you know, stand on your own, be independent. However, I feel like now, like, I grew up in a single parent family, just my mum. So I've seen my mum do a lot on her own. I spent a lot of time with my nan, you know, so like I get that vibe. And I feel like I've always just wanted to do for myself. And I feel like it's because I never saw a man.
So it was survival mode.
Yeah, it was
survival mode.
However, it's like we were, not us, but the previous women were fighting for equal rights in the workplace, but no one was fighting for equal rights in the house. You know, like the men are not saying, hey man, we want to be equal in the house. And now I feel like we're kind of like at a time where it's like,
well, you fought for rights, so why
we're equal in the workplace, but now we've just realized, but I'm full-time at home and equal in the workplace. So now not only have I got an income, I've still got to run the house. And let's face it, running the house, as you said it earlier on, cleaning. Like this morning, before 6 o'clock, I've done 2 loads of washing. I've folded it.
I just done that as well. I had to fold out everything. All of them, organised it all to say, all right, when I get back in the house, pack it away. This is
the quiet, the one that no one talks about, because mums are just doing it. And then on top of that, you're doing the ad hoc things like, need to trim my daughter's toenails, need to do her hair, need to plait it, need to pack her swimming bag, she's got a trip tomorrow. Like, there's just so many things that mums don't talk about that you're already doing,
So we're constantly overstimulated. Constantly.
Which is why your discussion about prayer is so important, because without that, at the end of the day, can you imagine like what is actually happening to us? And there is a certain amount of, the world has changed, so now that we can't even go back in time, because it's nigh on impossible to rely on a single wage right now, you know? So it's like everyone loves it.
It's a crazy time. It's a crazy thing. The world that we live in now, because I remember I got a bit irritated with a senior member of my family at one point, because we was having a discussion. It was like all different ages in the room, and they mentioned something about being a single mom, like this generation now, we like basically we moan too much because they done it, and then I just said, no, I just have to correct you right there, right now. Yeah. Number one, in them days, there was something called community, where you felt safe to let your kids go to the street and do certain things. It was a very different time. I don't feel safe for my daughter to go out and play, respectfully. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong if parents do that, but just personally for me, it's not my thing.
Yeah.
Secondly, the cost having a child, somebody that would watch your kid, childminder, nursery fees, it's a mortgage. It's a completely different time.
Sure.
And I said, as for the cost of living, please, your job can cover that. Now we've got to do about, the average mum who's a single parent probably having to, unless they've got a high-flying career that's paying everything, they're going to have to juggle about 2-3 jobs. And I'm seeing it because at my daughter's school, her school's very eclectic in the sense they've got a nice mix of children who come from a well-off background and then children you can see are, on the, through the system. And it's sad because, as a school, they are having to do food banks. We're having to bring the old uniform. We're having days to raise money for the parents who can't afford certain things. And it breaks my heart because it's like, this is just basic amenities. And it's not that they're living beyond their means. It's not like, they're there trying to drive a Lamborghini and, they're going, this is like, it's just basic. They can't even afford because and I can talk from it. My council tax tripled.
Wow.
You've tripled. So I'm like, wow, if I'm feeling this and I'm a career-driven woman, got my own business, how is the average woman who's doing this with, say, 2-3 kids? And then people will say, but she should have stopped having kids. Listen, don't police people's wombs. And at the end of the day, this is what we were meant to do. And of course, I think there's a level of intelligence you need to have and look at, okay, your circumstances. Can I find... For me, I wouldn't. I've made a conscious decision I wouldn't have any more children until A, I'm married, and B, I'm in that financial stead where I want to give my next children what I've given, what I gave Kallure.
I agree with you. And that's so, a lot of people always say to me, what about the next one? And I'm like, yeah, but like... what I've given to my first daughter, I would feel really
bad if I can't do it for the next. Because my daughter does swimming, performing arts, football. She does everything. And it's like, she's gone on how many holidays? Like, she's seen probably more places than people in person. So I'm like, I don't want to do that to her. Like to my other children, I'm talking them to existence. But, I want to be able to provide them the best and give them the same. But Callie's been with me for the struggle, man. Me and my baby girl's been with me. I've had to bring her to work. I've had to, there's times where I've literally stood at the train station because her buggy, the wheel has dropped off. And I was having to, this is when I was living in North, go from North, and I didn't have my car at the time, and I was catching the train, dropping her to Wanstead to the babysitter. And I remember the train, there was no escalator, there was no lift, and I used to have to pick up the buggy with her, and these big 6-foot men would be walking past me, leave me, and I just remember one day the wheels dropped off. And I just remember, I just burst into tears. I just started crying. I said, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I'm so mentally depleted. And this old lady just came from nowhere, like some archangel. And she just came, said, sit down. It's all going to be okay, my daughter. And she prayed with me. She's like, do you believe in God? I said, yeah, but I'm questioning a lot at the moment. Yeah. And she said, it's okay. And she prayed with me. And she said, everything's going to be fine. And literally, even though in that moment I kind of felt like I wanted to give up, she just came. It's like God sent her to speak to me, to say, it's okay, it's okay. But it's hard. It's not easy. Like, mothering is not easy because you're navigating the complexities. For me, I've been navigating the complexities with my own mother, like how I feel about her and having a kid. My kind of outlook, and my mum's always been a very career-driven. She's always put her career work first. And for me, I've never wanted that because I've seen the impact of what it's had on my life. Yeah. Oh gosh, sorry, on my life. And so it's always you're navigating. Look, I feel like just as humans, we're just trying to be the best we can with what we have.
Do you know what? It's
honestly,
because you and I feel like, a couple of times you said, it's like, I want to give my daughter what I didn't have. I want to give my daughter what I didn't have. And sometimes we're giving our children what we never had, but the children don't even want
that. They literally just want you.
It's funny because when I was younger, I remember we always used to eat dinner sitting in front of the TV. And I really hated it. In my head, I just wanted, like, my nan had a dining room table, and at dinner, we sat around the table and we all ate. And I remember my granddad would be doing a crossword or he's doing something in his paper, and my nan would be pottering around, and we'd just sit and eat. And I always thought, when I grow up, I'm going to have a table. I don't care. I'm having a table. Like, so as soon as I got pregnant, I remember one of the first things I went and bought was I went on Spock, got a little thing. I think it was like £30. I was like, I'm having a table because when my daughter's bored, I'm not having a table. And that was me. Like, there's nothing to do with her, really. Yeah. And then now, do you think the child wants to sit at the table? Who's going to come watch TV? No, we're not. And now I feel like, okay, cool. If she was to have children, she'll probably be like, oh, come on, guys, we will sit on the couch.
And so, yeah, but the thing is, it's a different, and this is what I was saying, it's like, so much things have changed. I feel like that family essence has gone. in today's world. It's not like how it was the same, and I feel like so much things has been replaced, whether it's the tablet, the phones, the TV, like
everything.
For example, like talking to my teenage nieces and nephews is very painful sometimes, because it's like, okay, so how are you? Yeah, good. You know, like there's no
interaction.
Yeah, what's happening?
Even with the children, I find like I had to start asking different questions to my daughter, because I noticed I'd ask her how was school, fine,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, cool, all right.
I say, what did you learn today? That's what I ask now. What did you learn today?
I said, who did you play with?
Yeah.
Was anyone nice to you today?
Yeah.
Anyone not nice to you today? What was hard today? What was the hardest thing you done? And I've realized that I'm the adult. So if she is not like, how are you? When you meet people of the day, oh, how are you doing today? Yeah, I'm fine. It is like a national answer. No one says exactly what they're actually feeling like. Someone asked me the other day, and they were like, "Oh, something about how you do." And I said, "What do you want? Do you want the real answer,
or do you want the correct one?"
I said, "Nah, no, you already told me you don't want the real answer. Yeah. Right now, I'm under it, and I'm really under it." So I feel like it is us being able to ask better questions to get the information. But the teenager and all that.
No, they're a difficult. Well, you know what? Big up my niece every time. My niece Kiki. I always say she was my first daughter. Oh. Honestly, she was my first daughter, because I had nephews. I became an auntie, I think, at 8. Okay. The first time I became an aunt. Yeah, I think I was 8. My oldest nephew. I'm a great aunt. So my oldest nephew's actually had a child. Yeah. So I've been out. Yeah. So I'm like, for me, yeah, my niece keeps me cool. So I the other day had to call her, and I can't remember what it was that I asked her, but there's this new saying that they say now, clock it, or something. So I said to her, what's that mean? What's that? And she's like, oh, auntie. Like, and she like keeps me in the know of it. So then, and it's funny because my nephews will always take the PISS, and they'll be like, auntie, you think you're still young, innit? You think you're cool? I said, hello, I'm cool enough because you got we on social, so I must be cool enough. Do you know what I mean? I've not been blocked. You haven't been blocked. You know what I mean? Auntie, yeah, I'm on the TikTok and Snap, so I must be doing something right, darling. But no, it's nice because they keep me on my toes and they make me know what's cool, what's not. And then it's about just understanding, because I'm sure when we was growing up and we was evolving, I'm sure the older generation was saying the same thing about us.
True.
So I just feel like, again, I don't want to attack them and make it, oh, it's that generation. But there is, like, I feel like a lot of things have become so much more accessible for them. There's a lack of appreciation. So they don't understand the graft. It's quick. Everything's quick. And they want, like, my niece, like, she sent me her Christmas list and she had a Canada Goose jacket. What was it on that? She had a few items on there. So I ain't even got that, darling. So you can just write that off the list. You better go back down to a bit of £50 budget. You know what I mean? Maybe even lower. So I just said to her, no, absolutely not. You lot are ridiculous. Have you even worked a job yet? Yeah, no. It's the tenacity, it's the courage, the boldness, and it's the fact that she listed it. You know, told me where I need to get it from.
No, really?
Yeah, no, I'm not joking. Don't play with her. She's so hilarious. But I said, no, ma'am. But yeah, for me, it's just like understanding their language. Okay, what is it about them, and really navigating. Because for me, we had different challenges. I think growing up, if I had to grow up in this day and age with the social media, I would have gone viral a long time, because a lot of things I was doing, yeah, exactly.
For wrong reason, and I'm with you.
You understand? So it must be really difficult, a lot of pressure, because the idea, the image thing, looking good, on that, like back in the day, we had the girls, this, that, we were going in, and we thought it was, you know what I mean? And I was nice, you know what I mean? Little mascara and you're good. Now you need lashes, 16-inch weave. Like, it's a lot. And I just feel like, again, it's going back to, like, how do you push that?
Turned 11. Yeah, just turned 11.
Yeah.
And what she wanted Sephora for her birthday. That's
mad.
Skincare, babes. They want skincare.
Yeah, this whole tween skincare thing is a big thing at the moment.
Absolutely.
Like, what happened to Cocoa Bar?
Yeah, like, it's crazy. Like, my daughter, she was just like, when we was in TK Maxx, and I was like, oh, did you want to get something? She goes, yeah, I just want to get some products. And I said, products? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, what products?
For what?
Yeah, but what products do you want? And then I said, all right, go on, you have a look. And it came up with some little shower gel. And I was just like, do you know what?
My daughter does the same stuff.
Get your shower gel, get your Go Henry out, because this is on you. It's not going to be on me.
I always tell her, you forgot looking at your piggy bank.
Yes, but yeah, this is the thing.
But she's got a little piggy bank savings thing. I said, send your money, learn it.
You have to.
Then she's like, but mummy, no, but we're meant to spend yours. I said, no, not for foolishness. Mine's amenities.
So what is your relationship with your daughter like on finances? Because obviously you've spoke about the fact of, you're doing it by yourself. So you have to be very, like, everyone has to be careful with the pennies. Do you know what I mean? But you're providing a lifestyle for her that is one that, you know, some children can't have. So how do you explain to her without having her fear money? Because, you know, like there's
a good relationship with money.
Yeah, I remember growing up and thinking, like, I remember my mum was like, oh, she had a VHS of Disney World and we watched it and she's like, yeah, we're going to go to Disney. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. My mum, I've actually never even been on holiday with my mum.
Oh, wow.
So for me, it's like her relationship with money was so bad, it forced me into a space of, I need
to make it, yeah.
Whatever happens, there needs to be money coming in.
Yeah.
I cannot look at her and say, we can't afford that. I will never say that to my daughter. Even if I can't afford it, I'm not saying it out of my mouth. Oh, you say it.
No, I just as if she's not getting it right now. Why do you think you deserve this?
Yeah, no, and other things.
Yeah.
But, you know, so what is your, like, how do you teach her about money? So it's like, you know, they don't take things for granted.
Do you know what? So,
you know, because they're young as well.
Yeah, because she doesn't understand. Honestly, she doesn't, because I'm telling you, she caused me hypertension last week. Because they're brand new shoes. We went to a christening and tell me what happened. Tell me what happened. The buckle's gone. So honestly, and they were from Monsoon as well. Because it's hard to find nice girly shoes.
I was to say that. And the shoes for me is it's a very sore subject because they're in school. So they're wearing school shoes Monday to Friday. And then the weekend, we don't go that many places. So you can't have so many shoes. But then when you do buy the shoes, it's like, what have you done to those, babes?
Did you climb Kilimanjaro? I had to ask her what the hell was going on. I turned my back. And then she's come because she knew. She's come, Mommy. I said, your face. I just looked at her. I just said, listen. I just literally went, and my friends started laughing because I was just, I don't even want to see it. I don't even want to talk about it now.
It ain't a joke. Yeah.
Because I couldn't find any decent, nice shoes for her. Do you get what I mean? And big up all the Shein and all of that. But it doesn't, you know what I mean? It's just not. There's certain things you can't cut the corners with. It's like fairy liquid. I'm sorry. I'm a fairy girl through and through. So
I swear.
I think from Kallure was born, I immediately opened up a savings account. I've been investing for her from she was little,
Love that.
so that she's got it, and that's something that she will be able to access when she's 18. So I've always done that. And then from young, she got a piggy bank, and so like anytime she'll get birthday money, anything like that, and it's one of those you can't open it.
Oh, I love.
Yeah, so you can't. So it's heavy. Like she's like always putting her money in there. Anytime she gets pocket money from her uncles or whatever, she puts it in there. So I'm very transparent with her, and I think as she's got older, I've been able to have certain conversations with her, because every time we'll go into a shop, oh, Mommy, can I do that? So one day I had to say that. I said, listen, I had to break it down to her. I said, you know, Mommy does everything, right? Oh, sorry. You know, Mommy does everything, right? You know, I don't get help. I don't get support. So I said to her, you know, like, you can't get everything you want. Sometimes in life, you're not going to get everything. And I said to her the other day, because she wants there's a new toy that they've got going on. It's got like the face. It looks like a teddy.
I don't know.
It's just a new craze that they've got.
Looking for flipping
Bitsy.
No, she's asked for, no, I wish she asked for 3D printer. Oh. Remember 3D printer?
To do what?
To do what? Yeah, she wants to make phone cases. I said, but you don't even have a phone.
Actually, well, you know what's so funny? At least we've got little entrepreneurs, because Kallure was saying she wants to start her own art store. She's really into drawing and art. She's very, very super creative. So she said, Mummy, you know, can I start my art store? So that's something I'm actually considering to do for her, because that's something she wants to do. But again, the capacity, I don't want to overstretch myself, because that's another thing now I'm going to have to do. She can't do it, so I'm going to have to do it. So again, thinking about that. But yeah, I've always been very transparent with her, talking to her, like teaching her what money is. So like even like the different coins, what is it? The notes, that all the difference. And so making her understand. And one of the things she keeps saying recently, don't worry, Mommy, when I'm older, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to be rich. Like this is what she keeps saying. The sabaz my daughter has, I can't explain it. Like when I drop her in the morning, I'll be like, what are you? And she'll be like, I'm brave, smart, beautiful and strong. Like that's our little thing. She'll go in. I said, what are you going to do today? That's good. She said, I'm going to do good listening. And I said, who loves you more than anyone in the world? She's like, Mummy. And she'll honestly, like the stuff she comes out with, is like, she's preparing herself for greatness. Like she's like, yeah, Mummy, I'm going to take care of you. Even the other day, she came and made me a fruit salad. I'll show you after. She made me a fruit salad. how it was obviously she couldn't use no sharp knife, so you wanted to see the apples were all but of the love. And then she came, she said, "Mommy, don't worry, I'll take care of you." And then she came and bought, and I'm just like, wow. So in terms of money, like we've got a very transparent, open relationship. So this year I've said to her, look, we've got to cut back on certain things. You know, things haven't been easy for Mummy, the business and things like that. And she's very understanding. Like, "Mummy, I can help you." This and the other day, "You can take some of the money from my piggy bank."
You know when they say that?
I don't know. Oh, stop it.
No, you know, you're like, listen, girl, I would never.
It's okay. But it's all right. But so those are the things, you know, just navigating that. But she is, honestly, she's such a God-blessed child. She really is. So yeah, in terms of money, I've always been very transparent and open. And because it's true what you said about the relationship with money, I feel like the older generation had this fear. Look, my gosh, she's going to live long.
Is that your daughter?
That's my niece.
Is that your niece? Listen.
So I said, you know, this fear, this constant fear of, you know, we've got to do this. It's I call it scarcity.
Yeah,
it's like a scarcity mindset. Like my mum was in a very good job, so I don't have that story of, you know, I never went on holiday. The thing is, I didn't have, but I got that from my grandparents. But the holidays, she would take me and my sister, and she would take us on holiday. But because we didn't live with her, we didn't grow up with her, the holidays were always like, I don't remember the good times. I just remember her and my sister arguing or things happening.
It sounds like the navigation of the wanting to provide so much just clouded the emotional side that children crave. And I feel like for us, it's a learning curve, because I'm sure you have that moment sometimes. You're like, listen, give me a minute, you know? And then you do your email and then you think, oh, fuck. Like, we just... Come in, come. And then you put your arm on there, we say, come sit on here. And then
so you feel bad, because then it's like, do you know what? I took it out on you and I shouldn't have. And then I start to remember about, like, my mum, how things made me feel. But, like, she always, and I always said it, like, I didn't care for the material stuff. I didn't care for going on holiday. Because I remember significantly we used to go Jamaica a lot, because obviously that's where we're from. And I don't have great memories, let's put it that way, for me. And it's just something I didn't want to replicate, because that's why I'm trying to fight. I don't believe in a balance, because I don't think there's no balance. Yeah. But like an equilibrium to be able to just coexist both areas of my life. And so I think for me, that's what I've tried to like navigate and make my daughter understand. Like sometimes I'm not always present. And do you know what? I'm very open. I feel like we don't give children enough credit, in the sense they're a lot more smarter than we think.
100%.
And I'm actually open. Like, me and my daughter will have conversations, and for example, today's 20 years is my grandma's anniversary, so I was super emotional, like, on the way coming up. And my daughter, when I woke up, she's like, "Mummy, I know you're sad because you really miss your grandma." And it's like, whoa, how do you know this? Like, and we'll have these conversations
to help me.
It's amazing, like, just the things that she will come out with. So I think for me, I try to shift. I don't resent that older generation, but again, they were navigating a lot of trauma.
Different.
And remember, like, slavery was 400 years. It was at 100. When you really look at it,
it's close.
It's very close. My granddad was born in the 30s. Do you get what? My grandma was born in the 30s. That is literally World War. That was like, World War was going on in those periods. So, like, for me, I try to give them grace and try to do better. But the scarcity and the money relationship is such a big thing. And I believe it's a generational thing, because kids who grew up in wealth, they're more likely to be wealthy. Yeah. And kids who didn't, more than likely to follow that, unless they're so like us. Like, I didn't grow up in wealth, so we weren't rich, far from. Do you get what I mean? But I wasn't wearing shoes with holes in it. I've seen people that were. Do you get what I mean? I was decent. Yeah, we were taken care of. But it was just like, we didn't, you know, you had to watch certain things. And there was times my mum ran into financial difficulties due to decisions, again, not really having great relationship with money. So without going into the details of it. So for me, it's like, I've always said, I need to change that relationship. And I hate when people will say, oh, I'm broke. I hate it. Yeah. I always say you're temporarily out of funds. And it was a friend years ago that said it to me. Shan, don't say that, like, you're temporarily out of funds. Because I've always been a little bit of a hustler in my little heyday, you know. Like, so I'm still a hustler, but we're bye-bye, you know, bye-bye.
Listen, we hustle, babes.
Clock it. That's what it is.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, clock it. That's like the new thing now. So I'm just like, for me, cool. It is what it is. And, you know, let me make better decisions. So that's why I done the whole savings thing from young with my daughter. That's why she's got her pot. Because I didn't have none of that. I literally mashed up my credit, done all this madness, done all the hard way, and then had to learn.
That I remember being taught that having a credit card was a bad thing. Yeah. So I, for the majority of my life, my adult life, I paid for everything. Pay. And then when it came time for me to get credit...
You couldn't get nothing out because you had no credit. That was exactly what happened to me.
Like, well, why am I in like the poor credit history? And I haven't even had any credit because you don't have a credit history. So for me, like one of the things that I'm doing with Trybe as well is like really building out free information guides for children that don't have a mum like you, and for children that have parents that have overlooked the money thing or don't know how to communicate it or don't have the relationships that like maybe you have with your daughter, where it's free flowing. Some parents struggle with that. So one of our things is to provide financial literacy for every child and not to rely on the school. This is not going to happen at school.
It's too much for them. I feel sorry for these schools, I'll be honest. Yeah.
So it's like giving the average child the opportunity to understand, start your money journey when you are born.
Yeah. No, honestly, and I think that, you know, when I look at my parents, my dad wasn't a conventional man, let's just put it that way, and he got deported. And so for me, again, that affected my life and the decisions. That my dad had a lot of money, he was that guy, and then he lost it all. So I've seen that, and I've seen the struggles and the adversary, and it's something that still affects now. And to see them in their 60s, because my parents are in their 60s now, I look at it and it's a level of disappointment. I love my parents, you know, they did their best, but there's a level of failure and disappointment. Like, what did you do with your life? Like honestly.
Listen, I promise you, it is definitely something that I think a lot of us struggle with. There's a lot of, why do I feel like the parent right now?
Yeah.
You know?
And the thing is, it is so crazy because a lot of people who came from, say, a lower social economical background, it's like a lot of my friends that do come from that background who've done really well, they're now taking care of their parents. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there's a lack of humility with that generation, and they don't actually... Yeah, it's expected. It's like, how dare you? Like, are you crazy? Like, honestly, like, you know, we just have to sit there and just actually...
Like, I remember my mum saying that when she gets older, in an ideal world, she would want to live in a granny flat on my property. And I'm like, hey, I don't have a property right now. So that's a really overbearing level of like expectation you're putting on me to get land, first of all. And second of all, how about maybe I just don't want to look after you? Do you know?
And the thing is, there's this guilt that they try to make you feel. And it's just like, look, I'm a child of God, so I'm never going to deal with you in no way. And like I said, I'll always be there in the capacity, but I'm not going to come kill myself 100%. For you guys at all.
Therapy. I remember my therapist was saying, like, I had to travel for a lot of stuff where I'd felt overly, like I had this overbearing thing that I have to take care of my mum financially in her later years. And my therapist was talking to me and she's like,
why?
Did you give birth to your mum? And I'm like, no, but it's just like the way that it is. And she's like, no, it's your mum's job to get herself into a place where she's good for the rest of her life. Would you expect your daughter to look after you? I said, absolutely not. I will make sure I'm patterned. Like, you come and visit.
Go live your life and do what you need to do, yeah.
But listen, do you know what? I'm not going to lie. We have way gone over time.
Oh, have we?
No, honestly.
Oh, my God, you have.
You have been such an amazing guest. I could actually talk to you all day.
So could I.
Interesting. You are doing fucking amazing, yeah?
Thank you.
Like juggling, being a single parent, raising a queen, like, and doing all the things, coming to a crunch point in your business. But what I want to say to you is lean into like-minded people and
sure, get me emotional. Stop it.
Honestly, share your mo. Okay, for women out there that are in the trenches with you, and there's some women that have different armor to us that are just killing it, you know. And it doesn't mean that we're not going to kill it. It just means lean in and get the support that you need. And I'm here for you, man. I'll get up and off you now.
Oh, my face. Oh, it's so nice. It was so nice talking to you, girl. It's like it's just, you know what? You don't realize just how many of us are actually just going through the same thing.
And this is
because no one talks about. Because everyone's like, oh, our wins. We've got this. Oh, I've gone this. This and else. There's some fucking else.
I forgot. Yeah, we're breaking everything down. I'm gonna start again, and we're gonna go.
Yeah.
What time? Yeah. You know. But yeah, guys, this is amazing. Like, honestly, I'm so inspired by today's talk. I could cry myself. I've got lashes on. So
Yeah, I'm fighting because I've got other meetings, so I can't be dying down and with my makeup. So
I'm making this together today. But guys, thank you for watching. Yeah, and just want to tell them where to find you on the socials.
So yes, hi, I'm Shanice Hoo Mills on socials. That's LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok. Oh yeah, I think I am on TikTok. I think that is my name. I'm on Snap as well. Yeah, Snap. It's DC Mills 17. No, I'm not trying, girl. I've been on there for a minute.
I'm gonna say your click. What did you say?
Clack it. And then my business page is Kallure. I'm consulting on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook, because obviously
all the stuff in the background anyway. But guys, thank you so much for watching. And
thank you. Take care. Bye.
Wow, you're still here listening. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for listening to Trybe Talks. And if you enjoyed today's episode, then please share it with another parent who needs their tribe. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, all that good stuff. And make sure you get involved and be a part of the conversation. Until next time, and remember, parenting takes a village. And now you've got one.